Hello and welcome, Matt Sedding, co-host of the Sunday podcast. We are here in London at Hoka's brand new run stop to give you an introduction of this very shoe, the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. I'm going to be meeting with Ellis Cross, Hoka professional, to give us his thoughts. He's tried and tested this shoe already. So without further ado, let's go find out about this shoe, which has every intention of being Marathon King.
Hi mate, good to see you.
And yourself. So I'm sat down with Ellis Cross, Hoka professional, 28-minute 10K runner, and a guy who packs more energy than your favorite super shoe. Ellis, first of all, Hoka Cielo X1 2.0, you're actually one of the few who's been able to wear this shoe and actually bag some Ks in it. First impressions?
Great shoe. I think it defines a super shoe, if you like. First glances, first opinions, you look at it and you think it packs a punch, and it certainly does.
Let's rewind a little bit and compare it to that previous model. Key differences, key changes?
Obviously the gaps now, we're looking at the medial differences rather than being lateral, and I think for me, as obviously I mentioned before anyways, that I'm more of an outside foot striker on the ground, and I felt quite unstable in the first version, to be completely honest with you. So I was really excited to put this one on. The difference has been massive for me. I mean, I feel much more stable in it, and I feel like I just get a bit more pop from the shoe.
And its longevity as well. I think that previous model, you managed to get so many miles in it.
Yeah.
This one's true for this one?
Yeah, oh definitely. I mean, I've been wearing it for a little while actually now, and I love it. I think it could become the go-to shoe for like the marathon really, and like I absolutely love the Rocket X2, and this one, it feels like in terms of distance, it's going to go the way.
Go the distance. I think that's Hoka's intention, isn't it? For this to be Marathon King, if you like, and be the go-to for those longer distances. Where would you perhaps start to lean towards a Rocket X, or could this, serve a purpose for even for your sort of 5K, 10Ks as well?
I think it could serve a purpose for sure over those shorter distances. I found it to be good in terms of my quicker reps within training, so I know it's definitely got it in it. Obviously the Rocket X2 is an incredible shoe. Hold that in such high regard. I think the question comes in around the half marathon mark, to be honest, as to which one I would potentially wear. And to be honest, when I put the first version on, because of the lack of kind of stability for myself, I wasn't sure about where it was going to stack up in terms of a race day shoe. But this one, I think, is going to definitely be in the question. I'm enjoying it so far.
Does that lockdown help with the jacket upper? I know it's favourite on the X2, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. I mean, it feels snug, but also feels like you get a decent amount of sort of like width with the shoe. I think in comparison to sort of like the Rocket anyway, it's a bit more slim, a bit more streamlined, whereas the Cielo, I feel with this version, the 2.0, we've actually got a bit more of a broader base to go off.
Before we get into what's coming up for you, what races you got on the horizon, first we've got to backtrack to Valencia, because it was a special day for yourself with the PB, but also the team and the wider Hoka community.
Yeah, I mean, it was a massive day for Hoka in general. I think, we took down 2 national records in Rory and Ephraim, which was very impressive. And to be honest, I forgot I actually raced, but I was actually really pleased with the race because I was so buzzing for those lads that broke national records. And I think that just shows sorts of the powers of Hoka at the moment. Athletes just going on to the next level. Hoka have a big part to play in that. All credit to obviously the shoes that are being worn, the products, and obviously support from the brand. But yeah, I think at the moment, athletes, Hoka athletes especially, have so much trust in the shoes that they're wearing, and they do fully believe that we've got the best shoes in the game that can carry them to these types of performances, which again were shown in Valencia, which was great.
They are, and I feel like the shoes, you guys are just on. You're carrying such momentum right now. You're just riding the wave, and so talk about that group and the dynamics a little bit. You see, you've already got 2 national records over the 10K, and you're kind of chomping at the bit as well.
Yeah, I mean, massively. I mean, the group's been a huge thing for myself and for all the individuals part of it. But I think we always kind of like touch on and reiterate that we are just like a group of mates essentially that have been pulled together by Hoka, by Chris, and have formed a training group that have, you know, we work hard, we train hard, we have an elite mentality, we have a great brand in Hoka behind us, but we also have fun with it. And I think that's a big part to play, you know, that support system and enjoying what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just quickly, we've got the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. Is there anything else around any other shoes that you're certainly liking the look of, new releases coming up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've just got the Bondi 9 come out, and I mean, the progression of Hoka shoes, as we see every time we sit down with a new shoe, and we're kind of like wowed by what they've produced. And to be honest, I'm excited for even what's to come, because the Bondi 9 is, again, a fantastic shoe. It feels a lot softer. I feel like they listen to the athletes, Hoka, and I think that they've definitely put in place what athletes and runners in particular are looking for. And I'm excited for the future to just, again, be surprised by what's to come.
I think as well, like you, I'm always impressed to see, you know, subtle changes they can make to the shoe. Just keep improving it. You know, they're always ahead of the game.
Yeah, massively. I mean, sometimes it just takes that, you know, and I think with Hoka as well, us as athletes, we always kind of feed back to the brand and say, look, we think you've got this right, we think this could be slightly changed. They always listen, and I think sometimes when you've got a great shoe, you know, if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it, and these slight subtle changes tend to work massively.
I think that must mean quite a lot to be heard as an athlete when you talk about shoe development.
Yeah, massively. To be honest, I think as a brand, like, they listen to their athletes very well. I feel like the brand itself, I always kind of go into the detail of how it feels like a family. It's a massive community, and everyone has a part to play really in the progression of the brand. And I think at the moment, as we've seen with performances, with products, that they're just on this upward trajectory.
We want to talk about your journey and your relationship with Hoka, because you're one of their longest standing professionals, especially in the UK. So how did the relationship with Hoka start? And talk about the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a long journey, but a pleasant one, to be honest. I've kind of seen the growth of Hoka from back in 2017, which is when I sort of started with them. Sort of started with Simon Taylor, who'd approached me and looking at trying the shoes, obviously the kit, which at that point Hoka were kind of new on the scene. I was a little bit apprehensive, as I think a lot of people were, because back then, obviously the shoes, it was kind of like the lightest shoe is the best shoe. We want the minimalist kind of race day feel. So they came in with this like big shoe, and I was a bit like, it looks quite clunky. It looks like it's going to be super heavy. I'm not sure about it. And ever since I actually tried them on and got used to it, obviously it was alien at first, I got on with it. And obviously they came in with the stack height being the main selling point. And I think, to be honest, that's why they've been so good at making super shoes, is they know how to create a good cushion. And yeah, that's why I think the progression of the brand's been so amazing, really.
They certainly led the way with stack height. And you're an athlete, I think, to complement the brand, you've had very few injuries.
Yeah.
Can you put that down? It's hard to tell, but can you put that down?
I mean,
it
could. I mean, it definitely has an impact, doesn't it? There's no doubt about it. Like, there's a lot of science behind, you know, obviously it's an impact sport. We need shock absorption, and there's no doubt about it that Hoka, I think, lead the way in terms of that actual shock absorption that you do get across all the range, to be honest, from the easy running shoes through to the session shoes. And yeah, touch wood, I've been pretty fortunate in avoiding injuries, and Hoka have a big part to play.
They absolutely do. And then just finally, where are you racing next? What's plans? We obviously got the winter run coming up at the end of February. The shoe will be launching, a week or so before?
Yeah, I think there'll be quite a few of those shoes out in force on that day. For myself, yeah, I'm going out to Monaco, do the 5K on the road there. Again, yeah, it's probably going to have to be the Rocket there, because it's going to be too early for the release. But I'm looking forward to London Winter Run. I'm going to have a run around there, and I'll definitely give the shoe a crack there. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to giving it a crack across races to see where it actually does stack up in terms of my preferred shoe.
Well, fantastic. Best of luck with that, and we'll see you at the back end of February. So we've got professional Ellis Cross's opinion on the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. For those of you who are a little bit more tech orientated though, I'll just go through some of the consistencies and breakdown that we've seen from that previous model. It's still got the perfect dual PIBA foam with that wide sprung carbon plate in the middle as well. So the ride is quite similar. The geometry of the rocker though, that has changed. It's a little bit more aggressive. It really does It's almost like there's not a flat bit of this shoe. You're either just rolling forward on every step. And there's some of the changes which are obvious to see as well, is obviously the lateral cutout has changed to a medial cutout, and it's on the inside of the shoe, which, as Ellis mentioned, really helps with that stability. It's got the jacket upper. Again, I've always said it's just faster. It locks the foot down a little bit better. And the sock liner, the SCF TP sock liner and the warp knit tongue just complement each other so well when you're just looking at comfort and being in this shoe for a long period of time, which is what it's designed for. They want to make this marathon king of the road, and a nice sticky outer as well, which we can always do with just that extra grip, because, you know, dream scenario, it is good conditions when you run that marathon, but we know training and racing, especially in the UK, it can always be quite wet and damp. So if you've enjoyed this content, please like, share and subscribe. The shoe available now at Sports Shoes. Go grab yours.